The Murder of Zhang Huiying, a tale of deception and desolation. On a sweltering summer day, August 19, 2006, in the bustling city of Nanchang, Jiangxi Province, China, a chilling crime sent shockwaves through the community. A young university student, Zhang Huiying, was discovered dead in a remote forest, her body bearing the gruesome marks of prolonged torture. As investigators delved into the case, they uncovered a sinister affair between the victim and a married sociology professor, Ma Deking, a man lauded as a paragon of academic virtue. Beneath his polished exterior and the facade of a harmonious marriage lay a tangled web of lies, manipulation, and betrayal. What began as a silent fracture in a seemingly perfect family spiraled into a heinous act that shattered lives and exposed the dark underbelly of trust and authority. The tragedy of Zhang Huiying is not just a story of crime, but a haunting reflection on the consequences of emotional neglect and unchecked power. Welcome to Behind the Crime, where we unravel the harrowing truth behind this unforgettable case. On August 19, 2006, in Nanchang City, Jiangxi Province, China, the local police station received an urgent call reporting a missing person. The caller was Zhang Xuyan, a middle-aged woman gripped by panic, who reported that her daughter, a student at Nanchang University, had been out of contact for over a week. The call came as Zhang Xuyan was driving away from the university campus, heading to the police station. Earlier that day, she had visited her daughter's dormitory, frantically questioning friends and acquaintances for any clue to her daughter's whereabouts, but no one could offer answers. About an hour after the call, Zhang Xuyan arrived at the police station, her face etched with worry. She explained that it wasn't entirely unusual for her daughter to be out of touch for a few days, as their communication was often sparse. However, on the afternoon of August 18th, a university official had contacted her with alarming news. Her daughter had missed multiple classes in a row, a stark departure from her usual diligence. Suspicion surged within Zhang Xuyan. She rushed to the dormitory, interrogating her daughter's friends. But they were as clueless as she was, unaware of anything out of the ordinary. The growing dread became unbearable, forcing her to alert the authorities. After receiving the report, the Nanchang police sprang into action, launching a missing person investigation. In their initial meeting with Zhang Xuyan, they gathered critical details about the missing individual. The victim was Zhang Huiying, a 20-year-old female student at Nanchang University. She had grown up in a single-parent household following her parents' divorce. Her mother, Zhang Shuian, had inherited a portion of the marital assets and used it to establish a thriving perfume manufacturing business. The demands of her entrepreneurial ventures left her with little time to spend with her daughter, fostering in Zhang Huiying a sense of independence, but also a quiet, solitary nature. After enrolling at the university and moving into the dormitory, she rarely returned home. Compared to her peers, her visits home were so infrequent they were almost negligible. The family seldom communicated, partly due to geographical distance and partly because of Zhang Huiying's ingrained self-reliance. Zhang Xuyan recalled that their last contact was on August 11th. She had tried calling but couldn't get through. A brief text message reply from her daughter reassured her, stating she was fine. In that exchange, Zhang Xuyan had informed her daughter of an upcoming business trip to Malaysia, with a return to China planned for August 17th. During the trip, she didn't attempt to contact her daughter, assuming everything was normal. It wasn't until the afternoon of August 18th, when the university called to report they couldn't reach Zhang Huiying, that alarm bells rang. On the morning of August 19th, Zhang Xuyan made numerous calls and sent additional messages, but received no response. Her anxiety crescendoed, and she hurried to the university, visiting her daughter's dormitory and questioning friends. But no one could provide concrete information. The room was impeccably tidy, with no signs of a sudden departure at the head of the lower bunk. For a daughter who had never caused her mother concern, this silent vanishing was profoundly abnormal, After fruitless inquiries at the university, Zhang Xueyan left the dormitory and headed straight to the police station. En route, she made a preliminary report by phone, and at the station, she recounted the full sequence of events. The police meticulously recorded every detail of the timeline and unusual behavior, laying the groundwork for their initial investigative strategies. A disappearance without a trace, devoid of any warning signs, was unprecedented. Immediately after receiving the case, the Nanchang police opened a missing person file and initiated a comprehensive investigation plan. The initial search focused on the vicinity of Nanchang University, where Zhang Huiying studied and locations she might have frequented. The investigative team swiftly accessed the dormitory, collecting statements from her roommates. According to them, the last time anyone saw Zhang Huiying was the morning of August 13th. On August 12th, she had gone about her day as usual, meeting friends, attending classes, and returning to the dormitory to sleep. But the next morning, after leaving her room, she never returned. Since she didn't take any significant personal belongings, her roommates assumed she had stepped out briefly, perhaps to visit home or stay somewhere off campus overnight. No one suspected she had vanished. There were no reports or alerts. Her absence was perceived as temporary. From this, the police reviewed attendance records and the university's security camera system. They confirmed that on the morning of August 13th, Zhang Huiying left the campus after waking up but did not attend any classes that day. Cameras captured her final image exiting the main gate, dressed simply, carrying only a small light pink bag with no large bags or luggage. After that, she vanished from all campus surveillance footage. Based on these clues, the police designated August 13th as the official date of her disappearance. A large-scale search was immediately launched, encompassing nearby residential areas, bus and train stations, guest houses, parks, and routes commonly used by students. The investigative team divided into multiple units, combing each area for potential leads. Traffic and public surveillance footage were requested to trace Zhang Huiying's movements post-campus. Meanwhile, the university cooperated by providing details about her relationships, class schedule, and recent activities. As time passed, her whereabouts remained a complete enigma. A young woman had disappeared in a bustling city with no witnesses, no signs of a struggle, and no final message. Everything seemed to halt the moment she stepped out of the campus gate that morning. Leveraging information from friends, the university, and camera footage, the Nanchang police escalated their investigation. A massive search operation was deployed with urgency, involving local police, community volunteers, university students, and other community members. Search teams were assigned to specific areas, working tirelessly from morning to evening, scouring streets, residential zones, transportation hubs, guest houses, and vacant lots along the river. Every location Zhang Huiying might have visited was meticulously inspected, yet for the first 2 days the search yielded no promising leads. Zhang Huiying was well liked by peers, sociable, and approachable. Though not academically exceptional, she maintained a positive demeanor in interactions. However, her relationships were superficial, with no one close enough to understand her private life, which significantly hindered the investigation. After more than 48 hours, the police expanded the search radius to 50 kilometers from the university. This time, a breakthrough emerged. One team was sent to re-examine a forest approximately 30 kilometers from the university, near a small village where Zhang Huiying had volunteered during the previous summer. The forest was tranquil, with thick layers of fallen leaves blanketing the ground, rarely disturbed by passers-by. Near the forest's edge, where a row of weathered wooden benches lined a path, the search team spotted something peculiar. An old wooden crate sat quietly near the benches, heavily covered with decayed leaves and dirt, as if deliberately concealed. After carefully inspecting the surroundings, the police decided to open the crate. A foul, unmistakable stench of decomposition filled the air. Inside was a female body in an advanced state of decay, with damp, deteriorated clothing. No identification documents were present, but physical characteristics led the police to suspect it was Zhang Huiying. The area was immediately cordoned off, and forensic experts were summoned to conduct initial examinations, collect evidence, and document the scene. The silent disappearance had culminated in a heart-wrenching discovery. Upon finding the wooden crate in the secluded forest, the investigative team sealed the scene. Technical officers examining the crate's surface quickly noted anomalies. The wood beneath the dust was still fresh, with sharp, unweathered edges, indicating it had been placed there recently. The leaves and dirt were a deliberate camouflage to suggest it had been there for a long time. The young woman's body was found curled inside, already decomposing, with the crate's dimensions perfectly matching her body, suggesting it was prepared to transport or hide her remains. The sight stunned the investigators. The victim had not only been killed, but subjected to brutal torture. After removing the body, forensic experts conducted a preliminary examination at the scene. The body was covered in extensive bruising, with severe skin damage, broken ribs, and internal abdominal bleeding. The bruises indicated prolonged impact or restraint. Based on the injury's severity and locations, the forensic team concluded that the victim died from severe internal organ trauma, particularly to the liver and spleen, resulting from continuous assault with significant force. The body's decomposition suggested death occurred 4 to 6 days prior, aligning with the time of Zhang Huiying's disappearance. There were no signs of the killing occurring at the site. The body had been transported to the forest post-mortem. The choice of a secluded location near a village tied to Zhang Huiying's past suggested the perpetrator did not select the site randomly and may have known or tracked her. Despite this critical breakthrough, the forest's natural conditions had erased most evidence around the scene. The high humidity and thick leaf cover made the ground soft and damp, quickly obliterating footprints, drag marks, or tire tracks. The area saw little foot traffic, so any suspicious activity likely went unnoticed. The team scoured the crate's surroundings but found no clear traces, like drag marks, tire tracks, or perpetrator-related items. Nature had blurred everything. Recognizing the scene's limited exploitable evidence, the police focused on the crate and body. The crate was carefully sealed, marked, and sent to the forensic center. Every fragment of fabric, hair, and potential fingerprint was meticulously processed to avoid missing clues leading to the perpetrator. The victim's body was transported to the city's forensic examination room. DNA testing confirmed it was Zhang Huiying, delivering a devastating blow to her mother. During a follow-up interview, Zhang Xuan appeared pale, her eyes vacant, her body trembling as if her world had collapsed. Overwhelmed by grief, she could barely speak, clutching a crumpled handkerchief in silence. The interrogation provided little new information. When asked about Zhang Huiying's personal relationships, Zhang Xuan couldn't offer specifics. She didn't know her daughter's friends, romantic interests, or daily experiences at the university. Her memories were limited to brief phone calls about studies, expenses, and health. She had always believed her daughter was mature and self-sufficient, so she never probed deeper. Her demanding business life, supporting the family alone, led her to assume everything was fine. At this moment, the police realized a crucial insight. The mother-daughter relationship, while not contentious, was marked by profound emotional distance. Zhang Huiying had learned to conceal her emotions from a young age. Her perceived independence was a facade of loneliness, isolating her from family and friends. No one truly knew her thoughts, experiences, or struggles. This silence, even if unintentional, created a significant gap in the investigation. When she went missing, no one noticed promptly. When she died, no one knew why. Now too late. Zhang Xuan was left with the torment that her years of complacency and inattention had indirectly contributed to her daughter's tragic fate. At Nanchang University's female dormitory, the police conducted a thorough inspection of Zhang Huiying's living space. The dorm was a cramped room with 4 bunk beds and closely packed desks. Personal belongings were simply arranged. Zhang Huiying's bunk corner was meticulously neat, almost rigid, reflecting a reserved and orderly lifestyle. The police examined every detail. Her clothes were all present, her books undisturbed, her desk clean, and her locked drawer contained nothing unusual. However, her mobile phone, wallet, and ID were missing, suggesting she took essential items when leaving, indicating she may not have left in distress but was possibly lured or went willingly with someone. Her personal computer was seized, and the digital investigation team was tasked with recovering messages, search histories, and social media interactions, hoping to uncover clues to her disappearance. Meanwhile, her roommates were summoned for statements. They admitted they weren't particularly close to Zhang Huiying. Their relationship was polite but not intimate. Living in close quarters, they noticed subtle details. One roommate, with a clear view from the upper bunk, observed signs that Zhang Huiying might have been in a relationship. Though she never spoke of it, certain clues stood out. On Valentine's Day or anniversaries, she received flowers, chocolates, or small gifts placed on her bunk or in her locked drawer, with no sender identified. Zhang Huiying stored them quietly, without fanfare or explanation. This caught the police's attention. If a romantic partner existed, they could be a key lead in her disappearance and death. Identifying this person became a priority. The forensic report arrived, revealing the horrific details of Zhang Huiying's death. Photographs and analyses exposed a brutal reality. The victim endured prolonged torture. Her hands showed signs of tight restraint, with stiffened muscles and damaged wrist and shoulder bones from intense struggling. Multiple rib fractures caused severe internal bleeding. Her liver and pancreas were ruptured or crushed from heavy pressure. The forensic team determined death resulted from shock due to severe internal organ trauma, internal bleeding, and circulatory failure. The victim's physical traits, pale skin, slim build, and no calluses, indicated she was physically vulnerable, unable to resist sustained attacks. The time of death was pinpointed to the evening of August 13th, matching the last day she was seen alive, confirming she died within hours of leaving the dormitory. The police investigated her finances through bank accounts, payment apps, and spending records. Despite her missing items, her financial activity was normal, with no unusual withdrawals or transfers. However, a transaction at 6 p.m. on August 13th stood out. A card swipe at a shopping mall, 10 kilometers from where her body was found. This was a breakthrough. The mall had robust surveillance and high foot traffic, potentially the last place she was seen. The police analyzed footage from payment counters, corridors, and elevators, hoping to identify who was with her and if they were linked to her death. By examining her computer and recovering messages and calls, the police found a significant lead. Months-long conversations revealed intimate exchanges with a discreetly saved contact, hinting at a secret romantic relationship with references to private meetings. Tracing the account and IP address identified the contact as Ma Daiking, a sociology professor who had taught Zhang Huiying. Married with a seemingly stable life, this was a critical revelation. Surveillance from the mall confirmed Zhang Huiying swiped her card at 6 p.m. on August 13th to buy 2 expensive bottles of wine, far beyond a typical student's budget. Cameras captured her entering a black car registered to Ma Daiking. The tinted windows obscured the driver, but this placed him at the scene. Ma Daiking was summoned for interrogation. He arrived on time, neatly dressed, calm and cooperative, showing no signs of evasion. The interrogation was recorded in a secure room. He admitted teaching Zhang Huiying and maintaining contact for academic guidance. He confirmed meeting her on August 13th at the mall for a brief coffee, driving her partway back to the university. He claimed she received a call around 6:20 p.m., asked to be dropped off to handle personal matters, and he returned home to his wife, Li Luyin, by 8 p.m. Li Luyin corroborated his story, but their broken home security cameras raised suspicions. The police noted inconsistencies. Unused men's slippers and dusty dress shoes contradicted claims of Ma's frequent presence at home, suggesting a fabricated alibi. Further investigation revealed rumors of Ma's inappropriate relationships with female students, including Zhang Huiying. A search of Ma's private apartment used for work uncovered damning evidence. The car's GPS data for August 13th and 14 was erased, suggesting tampering. A silver ring, confirmed as Zhang Huiying's, was found in the car, along with her hair and blood traces. In a locked bedroom, a metal baseball bat with her blood was found, and faint blood stains under a cabinet indicated the assault site. Ma was arrested for murder. Under pressure, he admitted to a secret affair, claiming Zhang Huiying demanded he leave his wife, leading to an argument and accidental violence after drinking the wine. Forensic evidence, severe, prolonged injuries, disproved this, indicating deliberate torture. At trial, Ma's defense cited emotional instability, but psychiatric evaluations confirmed his mental soundness and calculated actions. He was sentenced to life imprisonment for premeditated murder. Li Luyan received a 2-year suspended sentence for perjury to protect her family's reputation and inheritance. The university implemented stricter faculty oversight and a confidential reporting channel. This tragedy exposed the dark side of academia, where authority can mask manipulation and harm. Ma Daking's abuse of power led to a young woman's death, compounded by emotional neglect from those around her. A little more care might have saved a life. What are your thoughts on this case? Share them below. And if you found this story compelling, please like and subscribe for more.